At all. First time through, we kept together there pretty well. The big thing with that movement is, you know, when you've got that's always got to be very quiet. It's only accompaniment. It's not important. And whenever you're doing that, I've got the first subject. Yeah, that's one thing. And then the other thing is that when you've got, well, let's find the bars for you, bar numbers. Bar 45, when the second subject music is there, yada-dum, da-da-dum, da-da-dum, da-da-dum. Even though you're changing bow, the weight is on the last note. It's never yada-dum, da-da-dum. It's always got to be da-yum, 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 da-yum. Do you see what I mean? It mustn't get... Do you see? And the tendency is to make that feel as though the strong beat is on the first of those notes because of the change of bow. Are you with me? It's da-yum, 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 da-yum. Yeah, that's right. And that's, yes, put the emphasis on that note. Because I've got it as well, you see. Let's play from, we want to make sure we get through it. Let's play from, could you go from bar 36? And we'll go into that section. 36? Yes. They're numbered at the beginning of the line, aren't they? Oh, yes, and. Yeah. Now, can I tell you there? Which is the most important material there? Yours or mine? Now, you won't know this because... no, it's not. I'm sorry, it's not. You've got... Listen to what I've got. Do you see? Mine is the most important there. So you've got to keep that down. Yours is interesting, sure, and you've got to make sure it's heard.
There's a sforzando.
But I know when you get to the sforzando, but that's only supporting me. Do you understand? Yeah, yeah, and then come down away from it, yeah. And all that passage through there, you remember that Beethoven, a lot of these sonatas by the classical composers, by Mozart particularly, and not so much Beethoven because they're more advanced, but a lot of the time the piano is as important or more important sometimes than the violin part, yeah? He says, why should the piano always accompany, right? Why should the violin not accompany the piano? And really, that opening there with a that's quite revolutionary. There hasn't been a sonata before that I can think of where the violin solo had been asked to accompany the piano. Do you see? So it's very important that you study this from the point of view of looking at the piano part. Where has the piano got the most important melody? In which case, I keep down. Go from the same place again. And this time, as you're playing, listen to my melody. I don't want to play it too loud because he says, I've only got to play softly, you see. Okay? So same place, and... I still think you're going. You're going. Listen to when I play them. Listen to I play them. Da 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 da. Not da 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 da. Yeah, the semiquavers are getting too short. You're going la da la. Is it ta 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 la? Yeah, ta da yeah. Ta da la ta ya. Better. Yes. Ta ta ya ta. Carry on. That's the second. Oh, sorry. Where were you going from? I thought you were doing the second, first
45.
one. Go from 45. The beginning of 45. Ready? And. Ta-da-la, 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 ta-da-la. Now copy me. Ta-da-la, ta-da-la, that's it. Look, that's going to be an important thing for you to practice. Ta-ta-ta, ta-ta-ta, not da-da-la, da-da-la. You're playing them too quickly, all right? So, can I just sum up, because we've got to do other things. The two things about that movement to watch out for: make sure you know when you have to accompany the piano, yes? And in which case you keep down, out of the way, and put that rhythm right, get that absolutely clean. Yeah, ta-ta-ta-ta. Not. Do you see? Can you hear the difference? Right, well if he's got that on a recording as well, you'll be able to play it back. Because you tend to make them too short. Ya-da-da, da-da-da, not da-ya, da-ya. Do you see? Right. Those are the only things there. I mean, if we had time to rehearse it and we were going to give a performance in the Mahatma Gandhi Hall, we would rehearse various things on that, but we haven't got time now. It's better to go on to the next movement and try and get through everything, isn't it? Much you can, and then fade to wait the bars rest and to come in, so you know all about that. That's okay, that's one thing. The second thing is where it is marked. This is a strange movement sometimes because it's marked forte and within a bar and a half it's down to piano.
Yes.
Now you must make that difference. You try and make as big a tone as you can, keep the left hand going, keep it as alive, as intense as you can, yes? For contrast. It's a beautiful movement and it's super music. Don't you think it's wonderful music?
Yes.
Oh, it's glorious, absolutely glorious. So several times when I was calling out loud, I wanted you to play out more, yeah? And take charge, if you like, and match the piano, ready to go down into, or even 2 bars later, you know, where was one place? After C, bar 77. You see, it's the reprise of the opening melody, yeah?
40.
And you've got to be big. On that C, you've got to dominate, because I've only got the chords. Yeah, let's do it. Go on, turn down that note. And. Then, do you see what I mean? Within a space that, he says, whisper.
Yes.
Difficult, but that's what the control is all about. Now, the other thing is Dominic, and it's not your fault, you're not used to playing with a piano, and you've got to get used to doing it. For example, at the end. I mean, you see, the camera will prove this. A lot of the times I'm looking up, I'm glancing at you, I'm following you, yeah? Now there's times where you need to be aware of me. Take the very ending. You just went plonk, 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 you weren't looking at me. Now that's where you look at your partner and we get those chords absolutely together. Do the last, let's say, feel it together then. That's what a partnership between the piano and the violin has got to be. There's no good you thinking the accompanist is just playing for you and accompanying you. It's much more than that. It's a duo. Yeah? And so you've got to be aware of the piano just as I'm aware of you. Sometimes easier for the pianist, of course, because they're looking up that way, but that's a crucial bit at the end there. Just push the door to, otherwise I'm worried that you're going to back into it. That's it. Lovely. But apart from that, that's working well. You need to work on tone quality. I think you really need to develop and get, of course it's to do with the instrument as well, and I know you're thinking about another one. By the way, you know, it can be done, this business of the, I've talked to Money about this business of getting the money over to Mr. Mr. Green, and the way it can be done. I would pursue that. I really would. If he can send you an pro forma invoice, and you take that to the bank, then you can do it, you know, and I would do if you want to get a better instrument, because you're limited a little bit as regards tone, obviously, because it's not a Stradivarius, is it?
It is an imitation.
Indeed, yes, okay. So, but do work on tone, you know, as big a tone as you can. Right, now we're going to the other one. Now I get the start here, and then you come in, so you copy me. Okay, you ready? Now, there. That's A. I've got diddly dum. dum, dum. Yeah, that's the whole bar. Dum, and you've got to come in there. I got triplets. That's what threw you out. You weren't expecting to hear triplets. Let's go 2 bars before A, so we can go into it. 2 bars before A, and.